If a pilot or an aircrew member gets through their first 10 missions, their likelihood of survival goes up significantly. I am the commander of the 414th Combat Training Squadron. We are Red Flag. Red Flag's been around for 50 years. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary this year. It was born out of the Vietnam War when we, the Air Force, discovered that we had the ability to make our training better so that we could present our combat aviators with an environment that is similar to a combat environment, with the goal to get them their equivalent of their first 10 missions in a combat environment, to greatly increase their survivability. In Red Flag, we bring together the Blue Force, the good guys, our main participants in our training audience, to fight the Red Force, which is very heavily our professional aggressors here at Nellis. And then we, as the White Force, basically run the operation. We like to say that we build the sandbox for Blue Force to play in.
Currently, I'm the squadron commander for the 64th Aggressor Squadron. Our job is to replicate the pacing threat, or what our potential adversary could be. There are a lot of countries now that have 5th gen capabilities, so it is imperative that we keep up with that capability as well, which is why we collaborate with the 65th and we're still flying our aircraft with them. If you were to fight against another F-16, you're going to see another gray F-16, and that can become quite challenging if you're looking out and you don't know who's the adversary or who's not. So we paint our jets so that they're a different color, because we can't emulate another potential enemy aircraft, if you would. So we have to differentiate ourselves, and that's what we do with these color schemes. These color schemes go all the way back to 1972.
So we do what we call Dash 1, Dash 2, and Dash 3 red flags, our 3 red flags each year. Dash 1 occurs January, February, and that is typically US, UK, Australia exercise. Dash 2 is our coalition exercise, which varies from year to year, what coalition partners we bring to that. And then finally in the summer we do another red flag that is a US red flag, that is a joint exercise with the Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, and some Army participation as well. Over the history of Red Flag, we've had 29 other countries participate in our exercise. Bringing in the foreign participants is a really important part of Red Flag. The need to fight as a coalition being one of our biggest strengths, and to do that best, we need to practice together.
It's so important to have our joint forces here as well as other countries, because we take what their specialties are and some of the lessons that they have learned, and we collaborate together and we talk about it, and then we go out the next day and we do the same thing over and hopefully better.
The Nevada Test and Training Range is an organization and a piece of real estate. The piece of real estate is a roughly 150-mile wide, 150-mile tall training range just to the north of Las Vegas, which is the reason we're here. And on that range, we have targets that we can drop bombs on. We have threats that are simulating threats that warfighters might find themselves opposing in conflict. We have targets that move across the range so that we can do dynamic targeting activities against them. And in addition, we're able to put folks on the ground to practice survival. Managing the fight is another really important piece of Red Flag. We are able to collect fairly high fidelity data on where all the aircraft are, and we use what we call RTOs, Range Training Officers, call sign Showtime. They are managing the fight in the sense of taking the shots from each side, blue and red, assessing the effectiveness of that shot, and then communicating to the other side if that player is dead, and then they need to go regen so that we can get the most realistic training that we can for all of our participants.
The debrief is actually the most important thing, in my opinion. That is when we get to come back and talk about what we just did and actually look at each other and, you know, call each other out on things and really dive down into the things that we can learn as a force.
Red Flag has endured for 50 years because it continues to evolve to present our blue participants with the scenarios needed to prepare them for conflict. So over the years, exactly what we're doing in that sandbox I mentioned, we adjust that based on the demands of the blue participants and of course national strategy. Ultimately, our goal is that a person comes back from their first combat mission and they say, wow, that was intense, but it was not as intense as red flag.